In a hidden operation, Greek Secret Service agents apprehended a man enjoying a sunny day with his family at a luxury resort. This arrest marked the end of a long investigation into the theft of nearly $50 billion. 3 years earlier, Bitcoin's insane rise took a sinister turn as 850,000 customer coins vanished. Suspicion fell on Mark Capelles, the mysterious French owner of Mount Gox, a Bitcoin exchange. While the new trading platform became popular, a crypto crime boss's shocking involvement would soon come to light. In the early days of Bitcoin, a platform named Mount Gox started making waves. Its creator, Jed McCaleb, hadn't designed it to be the Bitcoin giant it became. The name Mount Gox isn't even related to Bitcoin. Instead, it comes from Magic the Gathering, a card game. McCaleb got interested in Bitcoin, leading him to create Mount Gox. But as it started growing, so did its problems. They had payment issues with PayPal and even faced a $50,000 loss due to a system weakness. Seeing the challenges, McCaleb handed over the platform's control to a man named Mark Capelles. Living in Tokyo, Mark, a French software engineer, was presented with an opportunity by McCaleb. The pitch was attractive: take over Mount Gox, which was seeing decent profits. There was no upfront cost. The plan was to share the profits for half a year. After that, McCaleb would get a 12% cut, but a condition was there. Mark had to deal with the $50,000 loss. Yet, just as Mark took charge, disaster struck. Hackers made off with 80,000 bitcoins in February 2011. That amounted to a third of all the bitcoins people had trusted Mount Gox with. Mark later commented that the massive theft happened around the time he got the server's password from Jed. Rumors circulated. Some pointed fingers at McCaleb, though many were skeptical, especially since Jed didn't touch another significant stash of bitcoins he had access to. As of 2021, the value of these stolen bitcoins surged to an eye-watering $5.2 billion. Regardless of this setback, Mark had faith in Mount Gox. As the value of Bitcoin moved from just under to $1 to an impressive $16, their user base grew. Soon, 60,000 people were trading on Mount Gox. But with this expansion came more headaches. The platform suffered another breach, had user details exposed, and even witnessed Bitcoin's value crashing from $17.50 down to just a cent in a brief period. Reflecting on these turbulent times, Mark admitted Mount Gox wasn't ready for Bitcoin's massive popularity. And so, the journey had begun. The year 2013 was a roller coaster for Mt. Gox. It was on top of the Bitcoin world, handling a whopping 70% of all Bitcoin transactions, which meant moving about $40 million every day. But the road was bumpy. They attempted to expand into the US, partnering with a company called CoinLab. They even set aside $5 million for this venture, but regulatory issues came up. New rules classified Bitcoin platforms like Mt. Gox in a way that made operations tricky. CoinLab's approach to these regulations led to disagreements and eventually a massive $75 million lawsuit against Mt. Gox. That year, many Mt. Gox users experienced delays when they tried to withdraw their money. Some argued this was due to complications with US banks. Matters worsened when another $5 million was seized by US authorities. Stories of mismanagement at Mt. Gox began circulating. To add to the turmoil, Mark reportedly had plans of spending $1 million on a Bitcoin-themed restaurant, raising further concerns about his priorities. By February 2014, Bitcoin's value had crossed the significant $1,000 mark. But Mt. Gox had alarming news. They were halting all withdrawals. They explained it was to get a clearer understanding of Bitcoin processes, but many experienced users doubted this. They suspected flaws in Mt. Gox's payment system, not in Bitcoin itself. The situation got murkier, and Bitcoin's price went on a downward spiral. The devastating blow came with the revelation that Mt. Gox had lost another 850,000 bitcoins. At that time, that was worth $450 million. Today, it's a staggering $50 billion. And so, WME continued working safe from prying eyes. But more on him later. The Mount Go Saga became a hot topic, especially in Tokyo. Many echoed the sentiment, "They've taken our money." Threats targeted Mark and the company. Bankruptcy was declared in both Japan and the US. Investigations into the missing bitcoins began, with Nobuaki Kobayashi leading the charge. Meanwhile, another exchange, BTCE, came under scrutiny for its questionable operations, linked to China and Russia. The FBI's involvement added another layer of complexity, underscoring Bitcoin's transparent transaction record, which went against the grain of its perceived anonymity. In 2014, a big Bitcoin mystery emerged. Mt. Gox, a popular Bitcoin platform, had a ton of its coins go missing. Everyone wanted answers. Enter Jesse Powell and Michael Groniger from Kraken, a different platform. They teamed up with lawyers in Japan, where Mt. Gox was based, to unravel this puzzle. By solving it, they hoped to boost Kraken's reputation. Using an innovative software he created, Michael began analyzing Mt. Gox's financial data. He noticed certain discrepancies. Mark Capelles, the guy running Mt. Gox, hinted that a system glitch in 2014 might have lost some records. Rumors swirled, with some suggesting that Mt. Gox was faking its trading volume. But a twist came when Mark suddenly found a digital wallet with 200,000 bitcoins in it. This discovery raised a lot of eyebrows. Michael's research revealed something big. Around 650,000 bitcoins might have been stolen without Mt. Gox even realizing it. These stolen coins took a winding path, eventually ending up on a platform called BTCE. Here, the trail got murkier. Tigran Gambarian, a sharp investigator, joined the hunt. He had a knack for tracing Bitcoin movements, and Michael's tool made his job even more efficient. While examining BTCE, a critical lead was found. There was a connection between BTCE and the Mt. Gox theft. The prime suspect, a shadowy figure on BTCE known as WME. For a while, WME was just an online alias, standing for Web Money Exchanger. But a small mistake revealed his identity: Alexander Vinnick. He hailed from Russia, and there were whispers that he might be the boss of BTCE. The race was on to locate him, and locate him they did. In Halkidiki, a beautiful region in Greece, Vinnick was trying to enjoy a vacation. He likely didn't expect what was about to happen next. A stealthy operation led by US and Greek officials ended in Vinnick being arrested. The website he was connected to, BTCE, was immediately shut down by the US. Now, with Vinnick in a Greek jail, a tug of war began. The US, Russia, and France all wanted him. Each country had its own list of accusations against him. Some even whispered that powerful people wanted him jailed for political reasons. With his lawyer, Zoe Konstantopoulou, by his side, he tried to clear his name. But the journey was tough. He wasn't even officially charged, but was kept in jail. Worse, he got multiple death threats while inside. Then, a personal tragedy struck. Vinnick heard his wife was very sick. Heartbroken and frustrated, he did the only thing he felt he could. He stopped eating. He wanted the world to know he was suffering, hoping this hunger strike might change his fate. But time ran fast. Vinnick was sent to France. There he faced new challenges. People accused him of helping a harmful computer program called Locky through BTCE. His life took another hit when police in New Zealand took a whopping $90 million from a company linked to him. And then, the worst news of all, his wife died. He wasn't even allowed to say his final goodbye in Russia. In France, after some legal battles, he was found guilty of money laundering. They said he had to stay in jail for 5 years, but there was another twist. By 2022, the French decided he had served his time, so they sent him back to Greece. But instead of freedom, Vinnick found himself on a plane to the US. In the US, the authorities claimed that Vinnick's platform BTCE was a hub for illegal transactions. Moreover, they believed he had accomplices. Alexei Bilichenko and Alexander Werner both were possibly involved in the Mount Go Saga. Alexei, after a failed attempt to revive BTCE, is believed to be in a jail in Moscow. As for Vinnick, he's still waiting for his day in court in the US, now facing even more charges, including ones about Mount Gox and BTCE. BCE. Meanwhile, Mark from Mt. Gox found a good amount of the missing bitcoins. He decided to give them back to their rightful owners, not wanting a single cent for himself. Today, he runs a small tech business far from the Bitcoin world. In that serene Greek village, one chapter closed on a 4.1 billion Bitcoin puzzle. Yet, as the sun sets on Vinnick's tale, shadows of doubt linger. What mysteries still remain? The end? Perhaps it's just the beginning.